Hi, guys. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. Happy New Year and happy 2024 to you all. I'd like to start by apologizing for not sharing my update with you guys a few weeks ago. I recently got back from being out of town for the past 2 weeks due to the holidays, and I forgot to post an update video letting you know that there would be a temporary hiatus between my most recent film reviews and whatnot. I'm behind on a couple episodes of Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and I still have to give you my review for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Those reviews are coming. Thank you for bearing with me and being patient. I really, really appreciate it. Now, before I get into this film review, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review for the latest horror movie to grace the big screens from Universal and Blumhouse Productions, Night Swim, which came out earlier tonight. I got back from a screening of it, and I gotta tell you, was not a big fan. So if you plan on seeing it this some point this opening weekend, you may not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. Ha, pun intended. First and foremost, this movie I feel like had the right intentions, and it was an interesting idea. What kind of sold me on it at first was the premise, a haunted or scary swimming pool, because there is something creepy about swimming at night alone. The risk of drowning, the risk of injury, and stuff like that, or in this case, ghostly underwater spirits pulling you down into the depths of the unknown. And so it felt like, it had good ideas, but the idea was good, but the execution was flawed. Very, very flawed. For starters, they put two of their big jump scares in both of their trailers, thus ruining the effectiveness of the jump scares in the movie. And another recent horror movie that did something like this was The Nun 2. It wasn't very scary, and it wasn't very good, and included its big jump scare moments in its trailers. And I feel like Night Swim did the exact same thing. In the trailers, we saw the girl playing Marco Polo with the guy, and then she gets grabbed by an underwater ghost. And then another trailer, we see her younger brother going to reach for a toy in a water vent or whatever, and then he gets grabbed by a ghost. You could see both moments, both scenes are in the movie, and you can totally see it coming, and it just loses its effectiveness and its scariness. And there weren't that many other jump scares to begin with, and then the whole plot point of Wyatt Russell's character seemingly becoming possessed by the underwater spirits also kind of given away in the trailer, because it showed him being possessed by God knows what, something watery and evil. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And I wasn't a big fan of the fact that they decided to kill off Wyatt Russell's character, because he was one of the more interesting characters in the movie, and he does the noble thing and sacrifices himself so his son could survive. So he does what a good father would do. But it's also a kind of a downer of an ending, because this woman is left widowed and alone with her two children, and they basically literally bury the pool in which the husband has no hope of returning or coming back from, because he's probably dead and can't come back from it. So, and the movie just wasn't very good. Like, it moved along at a decent enough pace. Not at all did I feel like it was slow or boring or anything like that. It kind of did feel like a gradual buildup in the first half of the movie, and then when the pool party shit happened, that stuff was kind of cool and interesting, but not necessarily scary. But even though the film wasn't necessarily scary, I was hoping it would be entertaining, but it just was not very entertaining. This, bottom line, was not a very good movie, which is too bad, because normally I enjoy Blumhouse films. Most of their movies I tend to enjoy and like, and some of them are pretty scary, and even if they're not scary, they're still damn entertaining, but that sadly was not the case here. So this movie left me feeling kind of meh, just left me feeling indifferent about it, which is too bad, because I enjoyed the last horror movie I saw Wyatt Russell in very, very much, which was the underrated action horror movie Overlord from about 6 years ago now, from 2018. Quite a good movie. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this movie, you know, it had some of great players involved, like James Wan and Jason Blum, but I just did not care for it. You know, like I said, it moved at a reasonable enough pace, but it just wasn't entertaining. I kind of felt myself sitting there the whole time like this, you know, and it just didn't do anything for me, which is too bad because this is like my first movie of 2024 and it was kind of a stinker. So here's to hoping that the rest of the year won't produce as many stinkers as Night Swim, I'm sure, is going to be. So not sure how this is going to do well financially. Thankfully, it doesn't end on a way where it leaves the door open for a franchise or a sequel. So hopefully this will be a one and done type deal and Blumhouse can get back to making better horror movies than this. So we'll see. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this film review, and I hope you enjoyed this movie much more than I did. What did you think of it? I'd like to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your night. Night Swim is now playing in theaters. Honestly, save your money and time. Don't watch it. It's just not very good. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and of course, until next time, what's your favorite scary movie?